It's time for the Nebraska Football Coaches Show.
Long count, turn, play action, back to throw. Has plenty of time. Dillon can scan the field, guns it deep downfield, looking for Barney at around the 20. Makes the catch at the UCLA 19-yard line. To Corey Barney, went and got it at the Bruin 20. Big play for the Huskers to move the football into Bruin territory.
The Nebraska Coaches Football Show is brought to you by Channel. Rise to the challenge with Channel.
Motion a man, Barney turn, give it off to Dante off the right side, lowers his shoulder, bangs his way in. Touchdown, Nebraska.
The Nebraska Football Coaches Show is also brought to you by your Midwest Ford dealers.
Raiola turns, fakes the handoff, looks a little fade route to the back corner of the end zone, passes up, it's caught, it is a touchdown, Nebraska. Isaiah Nair pulls one in, and the Huskers have 6 points.
Here's your host, Greg Sharpe, on the Huskers Radio Network.
And it is our weekly football show. Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, joining us here for the next few segments of the show tonight. Second bye week. Was this one different than the first one from how you handled the guys, gave them time off, or was it very similar?
It was a little different. Number one, the coaches went out recruiting.
True.
So we had a skeleton crew here during the week to get through practice.
And it is our weekly football show. Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, joining us here for the next few segments of the show tonight. Second bye week. Was this one different than the first one from how you handled the guys, gave them time off, or was it very similar?
It was a little different. Number one, the coaches went out recruiting.
True.
So we had a skeleton crew here during the week to get through practice to make sure that we need to improve on the things we need to improve and really invest in the young guys. And then, you know, Coach gave the older guys a couple days off, so that way, you know, all the snaps on their body and all the wear and tear and stuff, just to get away from the game, let them recharge to make a great run here for the last 3 games, you know, and some of them for maybe even their whole football career. So it was a little different, yeah.
How's been the ramp up this week getting ready for the USC game? How's practice been the last couple of days?
Yeah, good. They've been energetic. The guys have come back and really refreshed and running around, and it was good to see. You know, Coach said yesterday that you know, we were just in what we call spiders, and guys were like flying around and doing all this kind of stuff. Almost had to tone the guys down. So it was good, man. Really spirited, really energetic, and guys wanted to go out there and play.
You always say you'd rather say whoa than go.
100%. Right? You rather tame them down than trying to pick them up. So it was good. Those black shirts, those leaders, I think it did them well to kind of get away and really put things into perspective.
The UCLA game was kind of a tale of 2 halves. The first half, they kind of had us on our heels a little bit, but I thought you really made some nice adjustments and shut them down for the most part in the second half of the game.
Yeah, you know, when you look at it, it all came down to third downs, right? In the first half, they were, I don't know, 5 of 5 or 5 of 6 of third down. So all those extra plays, you know, led to yards, led to some points and all that stuff. And so we go in at halftime and just settle the guys down, and then they come out, and I think in the after that they end up 1 for 6 or 1 for 7 on third downs, and we're getting off the field, we're getting the ball back to the offense. So really critical third down game, and again didn't start off very well, but made some adjustments. The guys came out, executed, and gave us a chance to win the game.
You know, your team has really been, for the most part, your side of the football has been very solid all year long. Terrific effort at Ohio State a couple of weeks ago. And like I said, the second half against UCLA, you got the better of the battles against the Bruins in the second half. Going forward, facing the offense you're going to face Saturday, how different is USC maybe than what you've seen from UCLA and Ohio State in your previous 2 games?
You know, they got elements of both. You know, they do a lot of gap scheme runs. I think that's the little difference. You know, a lot of gap scheme runs, and you know, when they made the quarterback change, you know, that's going to throw an interesting wrinkle in there, just because, you know, Miller Moss had been operating the offense, and I know it wasn't the results that they wanted, but they were moving the ball. They were able to give themselves a chance to win games like that, you know, and so make a change. You know, you got a quarterback who's really athletic, who came from UNLV, and they had really turned the culture around over there, and he's a starting quarterback, and so it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they do, you know, leading into the game.
A lot of people wanted him when he got in the portal. A lot of people were after him, and so it was a good get for USC.
Really good.
I want to go back to UCLA. You got to play Tommy Hill quite a bit in that game. How did Tommy do it? Been a while. I know he's battling that foot problem, but He got extended snaps for you against the Bruins.
100%. You could tell that the foot is getting better.
Good.
And I think the biggest thing that Tommy needs to do is just go out there on the grass. Now that he's feeling back to his old self, like at the beginning of the season when he was one of the better corners in the country. He really is trusting himself, starting to trust that foot, put it in the ground, plant, drive, all that stuff. Now as he's going through now, it's his speed of the game. It's his instincts coming back to him to be that sharp like it was at the beginning of the season. So he's progressed. He's feeling better, and let's see if we can get him along. And
give me the update on the former Trojan, Sierra Wright. How well has he adapted, and how well is he playing for you right now? Yeah, again, Sierra, he's not that he's a pleasant surprise, because that's what you expect in a guy who was ultra talented and a guy who's coming from SC. But the thing that was neat about Sierra is his adaptation and growth into the way we do things, and so that's fun to watch. And as he's grown closer and deeper into the way we do things at Nebraska, then it's his personality's coming out and his comfort's coming out, and you're seeing that translate on the grass. Him not only going in there for minutes, but production. He had a big time sack a couple weeks ago. Him against Rutgers really did a nice job. So again, he's bringing a level of competition in the rotation, and it's good to see. You did not have Malcolm Hartzog for the UCLA game, and so you shifted Buford to a safety. Talk about making that move from Marquise, going from corner to safety, and how nice is it to have guys that can do that kind of dual thing? Yeah, when you get talented guys and they truly know what they're doing, they truly understand the system. You have that flexibility back there, and Keese is so selfless. His natural position is as a safety. I know he can play corner, but you can really see his comfort level. You can see his playmaking ability when he's at safety. Early in the year when we asked him to go and play corner, with all the injuries and all that kind of stuff and the unknowns and everything, he didn't say one word. I mean, that guy is all in. And so when we had an opportunity, to move him back to safety and then move Malcolm back outside, you saw him kind of, smile a little bit more and go in there and execute and make plays and all that kind of stuff. So it's fun, man. It's really fun to watch him, really fun to watch Malcolm and what he's doing at corner now, along with, again, like you said, Tommy getting back healthy, and then Sierra's play as of late. Let's go up front. Ty Robinson had a couple tackles for losses in the UCLA game. Seems like week in and week out he's been a disruptor. A lot of teams will double him up a little bit up front. But talk about the guys up front. Who's been playing well for you up there? Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that Ty's playing well, but going back and watching the film, I think you're seeing Ty really start to believe that he's one of the best defensive linemen in the country. He last year you saw glimpses of it, and he was playing at a really high level last year, and then he comes into this year and he's playing really good to start the season. But I think a couple weeks ago you really start to see him dominate the game. I mean, in the run game they can't block him, and then in the pass game he is so disruptive. And really him having that confidence and putting on the grass, that's fun to watch too, And then again, you got Ty, you got Nash, I mean Jamari. It was great to see him come back and him be healthy again. I think the healthiest he's felt in a long time was at Ohio State, and no coincidence he went out there and he really played a great game at Ohio State. Really dominant in there physically wise, disruption wise, and seeing him. And then, you got guys like Keona Davis coming up and throwing minutes in there. You see Kai Wallen in there. You see James Williams starting to get his timing and stuff back down and all that stuff. So it's a good group to be a part of. Folks, contact 811 2 days before you dig to protect your underground utilities and yourself. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Tony White with us. We're talking Husker defense here on our Husker Football Radio Hour. I'm with you. I thought Jamari played maybe his best game as a Husker against Ohio State. Let's talk about the jack position. M.J. Sherman, I thought, played pretty well against the Buckeyes as well. But what are you getting out of the jack spot right now? Yeah, I mean, you got three guys. You got three guys in there who really kind of made that spot unique in terms of their skill set and their physicality. A lot of times you don't see them naturally on the stat sheet as much, but when you go back and watch the tape, their physicality and their ability to disrupt just what the offense is doing in there, like, those are things you miss after the season, and M.J. Sherman putting himself in a position to make a ton of plays. And you got Prince Will, who
He's fighting through the injuries and all that kind of stuff, and you see how explosive he is, especially when he was healthy early on, how explosive he is in the run game and pass game. And then, the emergence of Willis McGahee. Every time that guy gets on the field, he goes and he just makes plays. He finds the ball, So all three of those guys doing a really nice job of making the position unique, doing the blue-collar work, the dirty work, and being really physical down there.
You did really well last year out of that South Florida batch. So that group has come and you throw Ja'Cory on the offensive side, what he's doing. That's been a really good. Hopefully we can do that again.
Yeah, we need to go back there. We need to go back to Miami and grab those guys.
Yeah.
Vincent Shavers and those guys. Yeah, Amari Sanders. I mean, those guys are going to be some really, really good young players for a long time.
You mentioned Vincent. How has he progressed? Obviously, this is a different physical type league than playing high school football, but take me through Vincent's true freshman year.
Yeah, he's, again, you could see the playmaking ability from the very get-go. Just this raw playmaker who sees the ball and goes after the ball. And I think as he's played, you see him now being able to do more in the defense. You see him in different spots. You see him in coverage. You see him blitzing. You see him playing man-to-man. So as he's grown comfortable and knowing what to do and the speed of the game and what's asked of him and all that stuff, I think him combining that with his natural playmaking ability, you're just going to see a player that keeps on getting better. I mean, he's one of the favorite guys in the locker room. He just loves life. Every time you see him, he has a smile on his face, and you want to do right by those guys.
You mentioned earlier that the bye week gave you a chance to get some reps maybe for some more of the younger guys. I know you have some that are they're snipping at the heels of the veterans to get some playing time right now. That's got to make you excited to think about what's kind of coming down the road. Yeah,
really excited. Again, you got guys up front like Keona Davis, who's just he is, they nickname him Tarzan because he's so, for a young guy, he's just got so much brute strength and explosion. And, again, he's another guy, when you watch the tape, you're amazed at some of the plays he's making as a freshman in the interior D-line, and then Vincent Shavers, him just running around there. And then you got guys in the secondary, Braylon Prude, Rex Guthrie, Caleb Benning. He's starting to come on now. You're starting to see him flash in terms of practice and being able to go and make plays. Donovan Jones, another one. Again, those young bucks are really starting to develop and put themselves in a position to play. And it wouldn't be surprised if you see them in the game these next couple weeks.
Which, because the redshirt rule, they've not used some games. So you've got some flexibility, maybe not as much on road games because you're limited on travel. But, yeah, that's a nice thing to have late in the season.
100%. Again, as you get in the season, you want to have the ability to get guys in, just fresh guys running around, excited, the first time, excited to run around under the lights and make plays and stuff. And with that, you gotta be comfortable with them making mistakes every once in a while, right? The young guys going in there. So I rather just let them go, let them play, let them be, and you have some really good players for a long time.
Folks, Dorothy Lynch, home-style light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. Tony White's with us. We're talking Husker football, our Husker Football Radio Hour. Going to step aside, get a break in, back with more with the coach coming up next.
Sunday morning. You can smell it. Game day. And the brisket you've been smoking since last night. A day to be with family, a.k.a. fellow football fans. Traditions make Sundays easy to enjoy. Beers do too. Bud Light. Easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the Game Day special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
The best Thanksgiving tradition is football, and AAA knows the best way to celebrate the holiday is by hitting the road with the Huskers. The Huskers play their annual Black Friday game on the road this year, and AAA is giving fans a chance to win a road trip package to Iowa City. The package includes 2 game tickets to Nebraska versus Iowa on November 29th, a gas card, and hotel accommodations, courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Enter at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Contest ends on November 17th.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If there's one thing Nebraska is known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens.
I'm Jason Pinky, a farmer near Craig, Nebraska. Soybeans are vital for feeding our livestock, and they're also a powerhouse protein source for people worldwide. Our world needs protein, and Nebraska soybeans are making a difference.
From tailgate grills to global plates, farmers deliver affordable, nutritious protein to build muscle and energy for everyone. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Out here, we raise stronger people, stronger crops, and we proudly raise our flag to that. Let the weather, pests, and pressures try to beat us down. We only keep growing up. With the next-gen genetics, the pure acre-for-acre know-how of these soils, and a deep pride of our roots, we're born to raise at Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard until the other team scores. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.
And save the planet by cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
Any car 2001 or newer is approved to use unleaded 88. Speaking of good, it's made from corn, which is great for farmers.
As I was saying, if you need a reason to choose unleaded 88, there you have them. Unleaded 88. Engine smart, earth kind. Visit chooseunleaded88.com to learn more.
Shop Woodhouse Hyundai during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Receive 0% APR for 72 months on the full lineup of 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe's. And when you shop Woodhouse Hyundai, you can rest easy with Hyundai Owner's Assurance, America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Visit us online at woodhousehyundai.com or woodhouseplacehyundai.com today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra when financed with Hyundai Motor Finance. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires December 2nd, 2024. See dealer for details.
No matter what color you wear on game day or what color tractor you drive, there's one color Nebraskans trust to be a partner for life lived well. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska combines national power with Nebraska roots. Awarded the best health insurance experience in the heartland, Blue Cross delivers affordable, high-quality health plans for Medicare groups and individuals. Head to nebraskablue.com to find the coverage that's right for you. Team Blue says, go Big Red.
As a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel Seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Our football radio hour is brought to you by Channel, and delighted to have Tony White, Husker defensive coordinator, with us here for another segment as Huskers get ready to travel west to take on a new Big Ten member, the USC Trojans, in a Saturday afternoon game at 3 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will begin at 11. Let's talk about some of the older guys on this team. Isaac Gifford led you in tackles in the UCLA game with 9. He's been pretty steady. John Bullock, I know, has been pretty steady for you. You're getting some pretty good leadership from some of those guys, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, and that's expected of those guys. You see them, they're some of the first ones in the building, some of the last ones out. They're the ones who are, calling the guys up. And whenever you have those kind of veterans, you want to empower them, right, to make sure that they know this is their team. The things that we do, how they play, all those things, it's their leadership that's going to carry it through when they go on the grass. So you got 2 really good leaders there, and we just got to make sure that we do things the right way, we play the right way on defense to give ourselves a chance to get extra games.
Deshaun Singleton's been one of your stalwarts in the secondary. I know he's been battling some injury situations, kind of fighting his way through some of that stuff. And, some guys when they get hurt don't want to play because they don't want to have maybe their overall grade affected. But Deshaun's been out there pretty much week in and week out for you.
Yeah, he's another one that you want to do right by. I mean, Coach singled him out the other day in practice, and, you're talking about the whole season coming down to the last couple of games and, where you're at in the season and all that stuff. And, you look in the huddle of guys, of faces, right? And you got guys who had 50 offers, 5-star recruits, a whole bunch of money coming in, all that kind of stuff. And then he pointed out Deshaun Singleton, who wasn't recruited out of high school, went to junior college, right? Came over here and didn't play as much, early on. And now, started last year, you saw some flashes of what he could do, his true ability, and then gets hurt. Has a long process coming back, and really was kind of almost defeated in terms of how long it took, and didn't know how healthy the knee was going to be. And then you fast forward to now, and Deshaun's playing probably the best in the secondary right now. I mean, he is flying around. He is making plays in pass coverage. I mean, you watch the Ohio State game and in the UCLA game, and he is hitting running backs. There's a couple of times where at Ohio State he's a missile in there, and they are falling down. They see him approaching, and they fall down, because they know he's coming to go hit something, So really, really excited for what he's putting on tape and how that can translate into not only the last couple games of his Nebraska career, but also for the NFL.
It's good to see that a guy, knowing that his college days are coming to a close, has still got that fight in them, and they still want to lay it out there. It's not always the case, so that's good to hear that he's doing that.
Oh, 100%. And he knows, and he's got that confidence in him because he's been doing it. He's been feeling good. Now he's been putting it on the grass, so it's going to be fun to watch him in the last couple games.
Yeah. 2 bye weeks is a bit of a rarity in college football. I think it's a good thing. I know the length of the season kind of goes out, but it gives everybody a chance to kind of get healed up a little bit. For the most part, you guys are fairly healthy this deep in the season as we get ready to play Game 10. That's one, I think it's probably to Corey Campbell and that group and what they put in the offseason to make sure these guys' bodies were healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, 100%. You get this deep into the season and you're as relatively healthy, overall across the board, then that's a lot of people, right? That's Corey and what he's done and his whole staff. Mitch in the sports science department, right. Kristen in the nutrition, Drew and Chris in athletic training and medicine. I mean, just an overall team effort. And then, Coach, knowing when to, accelerate and make things physical, and then pull back and make things more spiders and stuff like that. Again, you talk about having a great team around you. I mean, that's a great example.
Good stuff. All right, this one's personal for you. I mean, this is just as USC. Come on, UCLA guy going to play USC.
Hey, listen, man, I have to tone that down because that's like ingrained in me. But as a coach, you can't let that. Right. You can't just start going out there and zero blitzing all the time, right? I don't know, you can't do that. But no, this is always a treat to play the Trojans. They're a great program, a lot of history. I know some of those guys over there, some of those coaches, and it's going to be a great battle in the Big Ten.
For the players, this is this is somebody completely new. They haven't played them. They don't feel like it's a league game yet. This isn't like Wisconsin or Iowa that we play year after year after year. See, they don't have that, but they'll get there. I think if we continue to play them maybe more on a regular basis. But it's also one of the cool places to go play college football. You may not admit this, but it is. It's one of the great – Coliseum's a cool place to go play a college football game.
Yeah, I mean, I played on the grass. You know, I know the smell of the grass, you know, the sound of the Coliseum. I know the fight song. I know all that kind of stuff. So it is a neat. That's one of the experiences of college football, right? We get guys who have never been on a plane before, and now we're about to go fly across the country and play in the Coliseum. You know how many greats have played there?
Olympics.
And it's just Olympics. I mean, Los Angeles. You know, just it's truly a blessing to be part of the college football.
Pretty cool stuff. All right, they did make the change at quarterback. How have you had to go study? You probably watched a lot of UNLV tape, I would guess, in the last 10 days.
Yeah, much credit to the auxiliary staff. You know, Adam DeMichael, Ira Lewis, Tariq Thompson, Josh Bringell, and Coach Rashawn Melvin. Those guys putting things together to show the guys really like all the UNLV clips, all the clips this year that he's played in, you know, the things that we're trying to anticipate, you know, that giving him a chance to really operate at a high level. You know, you're playing a little bit of a guessing game in there because their offense is their offense, right? They got to do what they got to do, and clearly some of the things, how many yards they're averaging and points and stuff like that, like they're not gonna be a completely different offense, but they're gonna give him things to be comfortable with and things to execute that maybe they haven't shown because of the ability he has to run. And, you know, you hear all the reports about how great his the deep ball is and how accurate he is on that. So it's going to be a game of adjustments. You know, we're going to have to go in there and we're going to have to see, you know, what their game plan is in the openers and kind of adjust. And I'm sure they'll adjust and then we'll adjust again. And so it'll be a great chess match.
You mentioned adjustments. This is the fourth straight opponent that you're playing with them coming off of a bye. That's got to be really challenging.
Really, because, I mean, like Coach said, you go out there and you see things, the first 15 plays that you're like, okay, we didn't work that, we didn't see that, we didn't do this. And, you know, it's this hodgepodge of stuff that has hurt you from the past games and then, you know, with their own wrinkles to it, you know, in every game. So, again, that's why it's going to come down to a lot of adjustments and how fast we can see things from the box and on the iPads and get that relayed to the players and then make the right calls.
So Maeva starts at quarterback, but he's got weapons. This Marks kid at the running back's a good back transfer from Mississippi State. He's approaching 1,000 yards on the season. He's a good, solid running back for them.
Yeah, I mean, when we did our personnel report, you know, they're very similar to Ohio State in terms of their explosive athletes.
Right.
I mean, Marks is as good as any of the backs we've seen all year. That's how explosive he is. You know, they got Branch out there who's probably one of the most explosive guys, athletes, period, on the field, you know. So they got guys, they got athletes running around there. So, again, we can't let our guard down. We got to go out there and we got to make sure that we're playing with dominant contact and Husker speed and giving them different looks and making sure we adjust the right way and give the guys that feeling like, hey, go out there and play and make it your game.
UCLA kind of use their short passing game as their running game, but USC will try to get the running game going, won't they?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what they do. You know, you look at especially like last week against when they played Washington, they were throwing it around. You know, Washington did a nice job in their man coverage and mixing up coverages and stuff. Had a couple interceptions, tip balls, all that kind of stuff. And so then they just come out and they just say, you know what, we're going to run the ball, and they just marched right down the field and score. You know, and brought them back into the game. So they know that they have explosive athletes. They know that they can run the ball when they want to. So I would expect them to try to set the ground game as the number one thing they want to do.
Yeah, again, I'm a fan of Marks. I really liked watching his tape and as he gets ready to go for this game. All right, a couple of things. I guess with this, most weeks just stop the run. Maybe it wasn't that way with UCLA, but that's probably where it's got to start for the Huskers on Saturday. Kind of concentrate on their run game early.
Yeah, number one. I mean, you know, we gotta make sure we set the tone and play with the attitude that we played with in games like Rutgers, Ohio State. You know, there's just a ruggedness, a toughness that's like, hey, we're not going to let them do that. You know, and then from there, you know, again, it's adjustments, right? Like putting guys in position so that way they can just go out there and play as fast and physical as they can. Because on top of the run game, you know, you got a guy calling the game who's one of the best quarterback coaches and offensive coordinators in the country, you know, in Lincoln. So it's going to be an interesting contest.
Your last road game was at Ohio State. Such a tremendous effort. You guys played so well. You just dominated them on third down. How much can you hearken back to that and go, guys, we played a really talented team in their home field the last time we were on the road, and we did this. How much can that help you for this one on Saturday?
Oh, 100%. You know, you're going to take elements of everything. Every time you do something well, you're going to use some elements, but you also got to make sure that the message is geared towards SC in this week, you know, because sometimes when you use the same message, it doesn't come across the same way, you know what I mean? So definitely the confidence in going on the road in a big-time venue, playing against some explosive athletes, you know, and the confidence you take from that, as well as the new message of the week and making sure that those guys are fresh, have a clear mind, have a new kind of like renewed spirit about what they're doing this week.
All right. Good luck. Appreciate you coming in, chatting some Husker football with us, and let's go get a win on Saturday.
Let's go play our butts off and see what happens.
That's Husker coach Tony White with us here on our football radio show. We'll have more of the show coming up next.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
Working together, Central Valley Ag unites with our farmers to feed a hungry planet. CVA's power products are the go-to for farmers and ranchers seeking top-tier animal feed, ensuring animals get the precise nutrients they need. Now until December 1st, enter to win 2 CVA horsepower tubs or 2 CVA power cow tubs with purchase of any CVA power tub. Our planet is hungry. Together, we feed it. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Hi, I'm Tom Osborne, former football coach and co-founder of the Teammates Mentoring Program.
And I'm Des Moines Adams, Husker Black Shirt and CEO of Teammates Mentoring.
We're recruiting Teammates mentors and need caring adults to be in the lives of our students.
Meeting with a student once a week at the school can make a positive impact in their life and have a ripple effect in our communities.
Please join our team.
Go to teammates.org today.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun!
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months, plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
The best Thanksgiving tradition is football, and AAA knows the best way to celebrate the holiday is by hitting the road with the Huskers. The Huskers play their annual Black Friday game on the road this year, and AAA is giving fans a chance to win a road trip package to Iowa City. The package includes 2 game tickets to Nebraska versus Iowa on November 29th, a gas card, and hotel accommodations, courtesy of AAA Nebraska. Enter at huskers.com/AAA road trip. Contest ends on November 17th.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Last season was a banner year for the Huskers, winning 5 Big Ten titles. Nebraska also finished in the top 25 in the Directors' Cup standings. Beardmore Subaru congratulates Husker Athletics and Nebraska student athletes for all their achievements and stands behind you again this season. Go Big Red! Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue has the all-new 2025 Subaru Forester, the same trusted SUV it's always been, only more so. Love begins with trust.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Aksarben Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Looking for the ultimate sports watching experience? Head to Smash Park in La Vista, home of Husker Hangouts, Omaha's official watch parties. Your go-to spot for epic game day deals, delicious bites, and unbeatable fun. Catch every moment on massive screens. Challenge friends to pickleball, axe throwing, and other games. Smash Park is where the action happens, whether you're cheering on the Huskers or just enjoying the atmosphere. Smash Park. Visit us today and turn your game day into a game night. Smash Park. Play, drink, eat.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Folks, as a farmer, challenges arise daily with the new enhanced Channel seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Continue on our Nebraska football show for the night. Thanks to Tony White for coming in, spending some time with us. Jessica joins me now, and always great to hear from the defensive coordinator. And he's just fun to listen to. Always you leave conversations with Tony White feeling better about things.
I was just about to say that. He's such a infectious personality. He lifts people up, and he is one where you can balance accepting some responsibility and owning up to maybe some of the things that you need to improve on, but then knowing that it's going to get taken care of. Right. You believe 100,000% that he's going to get whatever corrected he needs to get corrected because he cares so much about his players, about this team, this program, Coach Rule. But yeah, I agree. You have a conversation with him. On the sideline, every time I see him, I'm just like, okay, I feel much better. See T. White today. So we're all a fan of Coach White here on the Huskers Radio Network, and I'm glad you got a chance to sit down with him going into this one.
It was great. So we talked defense for the first part of the show. The head coach did meet with the media today, and obviously the big topic for the last 2 weeks has been what's going on with the offensive staff, new OC now in Dana Holgerson. And so Coach Rural got asked today, how has that gone? How has Dana Holgerson been assimilated into the program here in the last 10 days?
Like I said, it's still the same language. He's, adapting to everything that we do. The players, it's, like I said, it's the same thing. It's just, someone new in the mix. All the same coaches are coaching their guys. So it's just, like I said, a fresh perspective on what we were doing, and I think he's gotten along well with the players, and I think the players have practiced well this week.
It kind of echoes a little bit of what I've heard, just here or there, sporadically. But again, I just fully trust Coach Rule that whatever is needed is going to be done, and he believed that Dana Holgerson was the guy to do it, and so yeah, I trust it, and I think hopefully it'll provide a good little spark for this offense.
Kind of backing that up, one of the questions for Coach today at the presser was This was a big challenge to make this move midseason, to bring a guy from the outside in and then turn over the play calling to him. So what was the challenge like, and what's it been like kind of living through the last 10 days?
It's really been, for me, just being very flexible in terms of like, hey, coach, what do you need? You know, do you need an extra meeting here? Do you need practice this way? Do you need practice there? It's what I've always liked to do. I've never been very rigid with those things. You know, I was liken it to, you know, if you're a golfer and you're struggling off the tee, you don't want to go take a chipping lesson. You want to work on your driver. And so, to me, it's always being flexible in the process of what we need, and adapting to Dana and kind of what he needs to get ready. But also then, you know, he's obviously adapted to the situation that he's in. But you know, a lot of credit to him. I mean, he didn't have to do this. You know, he didn't have to step in at this point. But I think he sees the challenge in it. He also sees the opportunity, and same thing for us. Obviously, it's a little bit of a challenge, but I see a tremendous opportunity here, and I have to be flexible. He has to be flexible, and it's been fun, to be quite honest with you. It's been a great week, really 2 weeks, just to make this thing work. So, you know, we'll go out there on Saturday. We'll play. What I'm very sure of is that we'll get better every single day. I think it's a really good setup right now.
Got to think, too, just at this point in the season, you and I have talked about this with volleyball, and I've had this conversation with the assistant coaches. They've changed things up. They've had new drills, because sometimes you do the same thing, and, you know, at this point in the season, you're like, okay, I'm over practice. How can we continue to make this fun? And, hey, a little shake-up in practice maybe makes things interesting when you're going out there, when it can be such a grind at this point, especially during 2 hard weeks when you come off a tough loss, and then, hey, we're mixing it up. We're going to do some things offensively to try to get things going, to address what Dana might need in any given practice. So it might be a nice little shakeup for the team.
That's the hope, right? That it energizes everybody, gives them a kind of a boost of just energy moving forward. And obviously, we kind of know the offense needed it. The offense needed a jolt. It's been kind of stagnant for the last month of the season. So glad that took place. And again, when you hear the coach say it's been fun, I take him at his word that it has been fun.
Yeah. I mean, just mixing it up a little bit. And he's talked about Coach Holgerson, that he's been a head coach and certainly probably has his ways of how he likes to do things. And so, you know, you get a new feel for how somebody else, one of the great offensive minds, likes to maybe approach practice. Also, hey, you know, there's some similarities in some of the things that Dana Holgerson's offense does with Lincoln Riley. So now you're giving your defense a chance to maybe match up against someone that can think a little bit like what the offense is that you are about to see. So also could be a good advantage for the defense as well. Good
segue into the next clip, because the next clip was about USC's offense, and they've made a change. They changed quarterbacks. Miller Moss will not get the start. Jaden Mayava will get the start, a transfer from UNLV, a little bit more of a dual threat guy that can run a little bit. Here's the coach talking about the weapons and the challenge of USC's offense.
I think anytime you play against Coach Riley, one of the great offensive masterminds in football, I mean, you have to first stop the run. Woody Marks, I think, is one of the best backs I've seen in a long time. Tremendous run system that they have, and then they've added in, both with Miller and I'm sure with Jaden as well, like added in the ability to pull the ball and run what amounts to triple option. You know, so they're running power and counter gap type schemes to one side and pulling the ball, and quarterback can run it or throw to a guy who's on the perimeter. So very akin to when they had Jalen Hurts when we competed against him at Oklahoma. So we went back and I watched the quarterback at UNLV did a lot of the same things in that go-go offense there, triple option type plays, throws an elite deep ball. So there's he's a really talented player. There's a reason why everybody wanted him when we went in the portal last year, and he's getting his opportunity. I thought Miller Moss played exceptionally well as well. So, I mean, again, Coach Riley's he's the best that there is in my mind.
So I was at Oklahoma with Lincoln Riley as the head coach when Coach Roll was at Baylor, and this is always a build-up between the defensive coach in the Big 12 and the offensive coach in the Big 12. Arguably the best defensive mind against arguably the best offensive mind. So it was always this huge build-up, a chess match of which side of the ball was going to win out, because that's the intriguing matchup when you've got these two head coaches going at it. So, hey, it's reignited, and it should be a fun battle to see.
I just think there's so much intrigue for a game between a 5-4 and a 4-5 team? I just think there is. I think it's really going to be fascinating on Saturday. All right, how about USC's defense? It's been bad, but they went and got Coach Lynn from UCLA to be the new coordinator, and they're markedly better on that side of the ball than they were last year. It's not why they've been losing these close games. It's not been because of their defense. Here's the coach talking about USC and the defense that now Dana Holgerson's offense will go up against on Saturday.
They've got 6'3" corners. They've got length, power. They can rush the passer. They'll play man, overload the box, take away the run, and force you to throw the ball against big, long guys who are tremendously talented. So, Coach Lynn's done a really nice job there, and we're gonna have to play our best.
They were one of the worst defenses. Awful. I mean, I don't even know how to even spin it in a not mean way. They were really, really bad. They just had to beat everybody scoring. You just knew. And Lincoln Riley's kind of at times in his career been known for that. We're just going to outscore everybody. But they've made some changes, and they're a little bit better on the defensive side of the ball. They looked pretty impressive at the beginning of the season. Maybe still probably not quite exactly where they want to be, but they're better. It's an improved defense, and they've got some good players on that side of the ball. Just fascinating for this 3 o'clock kick. Again, 11 o'clock pregame coverage here on the network. Time for this week's Alumni Hall Husker Alumni feature. We're going to go back to the 90s to a guy who was a dominant black shirt, went on to a great career in the National Football League, Grant Wistrom.
2nd down and 15 to go. Michigan State trying to open things up a little bit now. Here is a pass, and it's intercepted by Grant Wistrom. Takes it in for the score! Good pressure on the part of the black shirts. Wistrom leaped into the air, got the ball, and took it in for 6.
So, Grant Wistrom is our feature. His daughter has just recently committed to Husker soccer. So we're going to have a Wistrom on campus again next fall, playing for Coach Walker's Husker soccer team. Alumni Hall is your ultimate Husker shopping experience with the largest and best selection of apparel, vault gear, and tailgate accessories. Shop their 2 Lincoln locations or alumnihall.com, Alumni Hall, where Huskers shop. Got a few minutes left in our hour. We're back to wrap it up and then get you set up for Husker volleyball. It's coming up next.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
There's a hero in all of us. Pioneer is proud to partner with Nebraska and Iowa for the Pioneer Heroes Game. Together, we want to recognize and celebrate local heroes who exemplify the goal of positively impacting the community and who stand as an inspiration to others. If you have a family member or a community member you'd like to recognize, please nominate them at huskers.com/hero so we can celebrate the heroes in your community.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Husker fans, it's game day, and Pizza Hut's got your perfect play. Score the Game Day Special for just $29.99. Get 2 medium 3-topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Enough to feed 8 hungry fans. Pizza, wings, breadsticks, and more. It's the ultimate lineup to fuel your game day. Check out the full menu online at pizzahut.com or in store. Because remember, no one out-pizzas the Hut.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun.
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes. Goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
As a farmer, challenges arise daily with a new enhanced Channel Seed brand. You can tackle them all. Rise to the challenge with Channel. Learn more at channel.com/rise. Wrapping up our football hour. Again, thanks to Tony White for coming by a little bit ago. Husker Volleyball coming up at the top of the hour as they entertain another nationally ranked team, the Minnesota Golden Gophers here. Huskers just have been almost flawless the last several times out on the court.
Yeah, they absolutely have. But I will say Minnesota is a team that has shown that they can come in here and battle. I mean, I talked to Lindsey Peterson about that very thing on this week's episode of The Dig, just that they've had some battles with Minnesota. Minnesota has played pretty well here in the past at times, and with the connection with Taylor Landfair playing her old team, we'll see how it all shakes out. But yeah, you're right. They have just found a whole nother level here at the end of November. So we'll see if they can keep the trend continuing. And also just really sad that the matches are winding down with this senior class. 3
home matches left.
Yeah, and hopefully the postseason.
Yeah,
but
true.
Regular season, yeah, it is winding down. The last few opportunities to see these great seniors inside the Bob.
Kind of forgot about the Taylor Landfair thing. That's going to add a little intrigue because, Minnesota's, a lot of her teammates are still there. They're going to go, all right, you left us. We want to show you why'd you leave us. So that'll be an interesting angle.
Sometimes that can be a little bit of a factor in some of these matches.
So coming up 8 o'clock, first serve, 7 o'clock here at the top of the hour. JB and Lauren will have pregame coverage coming your way. Well, last night you were on the BTN Plus call. Husker basketball, better, right? Still not making a bunch of jump shots, but I thought they had a better bounce to them last night.
It was a much cleaner game. They took much better care of the basketball. They were still very, very good on the defensive end, still forced a lot of turnovers. I think this is going to be a team that has to do that. But they're just not making shots, and it's not like they're taking bad shots. They're getting good looks at it. So you've got to believe with the shooters that they have that those are going to fall. Like Gavin Griffiths, Connor Sejan, which they did knock down a couple in the second half, but they had some really good looks that they missed in the first half. Got to think that those guys are going to get going. They're too good of shooters to miss those good looks. It's one thing if they're forcing bad shots, but you got to think they're going to get going. You hope that they can get going. It needs to get going, we'll see, if they want to beat some of these teams on the schedule moving forward.
And, it cranks up a spot. St. Mary's a good program.
Yeah.
It's the game on Sunday, and then it's Creighton a week from tomorrow. So the next two are good basketball teams that they're going to have to play better at. The women will play Saturday in South Dakota. They'll take on a Coyote team that's 0-3 on the year. Both of those games, both the men and women are playing at the Pentagon up in Sioux Falls. The women Saturday night, the men at noon on Sunday with a pregame of 11 o'clock. Folks, CVA's Power Products are the go-to solution for farmers and ranchers seeking top-tier animal feed, ensuring your animals receive the precise nutrients that they need. For a limited time, be entered to win 2 CVA horse power tubs or 2 power cow tubs with purchase of any power tub at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation. That puts a wrap on our show tonight. Husker Volleyball coming up on the other side. JB and Lauren, go Big Red. Have a great night. Back with a full 2 hours tomorrow night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
This fall, be ready for every tailgate, touchdown, and adventure in a perfect car, truck, or SUV from Sid Dillon Chevrolet. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo and shop Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. We're also your Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, offering medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Visit us at siddillonchevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Life doesn't come with guarantees, but working with Rob Seco comes pretty close. Our strategic investments in the seed we offer are designed to directly improve your bottom line. From full trait platforms, breeding and development, to field-by-field planning and seed-driven crop inputs, with Rob Seco, you have precisely what you need to improve plant performance and increase yield. Every farm, every crop, and every acre. Learn more at robseco.com.
The Huskers Radio Network is on the air. It's time for Big Red Volleyball, brought to you by Emeritus, your guide on a path to a fulfilling life.
Everyone on their feet in scarlet and cream. Sarnich puts it in play. To Brightonfield, push to her knees. Left side stance, block back. National champion.
They give him a chance at a match point in the fourth. Back set, Maynering down. Leaping out of the gym. Side out, it feels like December on Vine Street.
Got to finish the comeback. Pass by Barboza in the middle. Richards, ricochet control with the big red. Holloway, Havard, game point! They did it 30-28. Richards got to get it in. Does. Nice pass by Schwartz. Outside set, Jordan Larson. Goal and grandkids, they did it! Can you believe it? Nebraska national champions.
Justina digging machine today. Back row swing, Will Height. And now Katie with the up. Over the net. Swing by Hart. Justina another dig. Across the net. Justina another dig. Outside set. Becky. Off the dig it out. Woodbing Road. Like an archaeology. Justine Wangarata. Served by Laney. Bad pass. And that's an ace. They did it. Conference champions all by themselves, and the players dogpile.
Here's the voice of Huskers Volleyball, John Baylor.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome back inside the Bob Devaney Sports Center, Nebraska Innovation Campus. Tonight, a Big Ten volleyball showdown between two ranked rivals. Number 16, Minnesota, is right here to challenge your number 2 Huskers. Well, hi again, folks. I'm John Baylor. They are back. The Husker Road Warriors swept 4 opponents over 2 weeks on the road. Number 7, Wisconsin. Northwestern, number 12, Oregon, and Washington. For the first time since October 26th, the Big Red plays in front of an ocean of red. Now, 4 in a row on the road. How'd they do it? Defense. Over 5 consecutive matches, 5 teams have been unable to hit above 158 against the Big Red. Why? The Huskers have averaged 8 blocks a match in those 5 matches. While those archaeologists, the ones, the littles in the back row, have outdug each of those 5 opponents. In fact, the Huskers have outdug their opponents in their last 14 matches. Meanwhile, Bergen Riley's offense rolls on. 7 of the last 9 matches, her team, your Huskers, have hit 278 or higher. That's a big number. Now, the Huskers need to get in sync once again with the middles. And Merritt, none of those three hit for big numbers at Oregon or Washington. It's Harper Murray and Taylor Landfair. The outsides had big nights both on Thursday and last Saturday. Meanwhile, Minnesota has lost their last 2 at home, also to Washington and Oregon. Passing has been a problem. It has been erratic. But junior Julia Hansen, 6'1", she gets nearly 4 kills a set. She's on the left, while Lydia Grote, 6'2" senior, on the right, 5th-year senior, gets nearly 3 kills a night. If they pass well, those hitters can have big nights. Meanwhile, in the middle, they got one of the nation's top blockers, Phoebe Awalewa, averages 1.8 blocks a set. So, many great matches have occurred between these two since 2011 when the Huskers joined the Big Ten. It's, in fact, 7 times the Huskers and the Gophers have gone 5 sets. Will there be more Devaney drama tonight as the Gophers, 16-8, seek to upset your Huskers 24-1? Right here, you'll hear it on the Huskers Radio Network.
Sam, since this is your first Get Holiday Ready sales event, let me introduce you to the full lineup of Ford SUVs. Keep it festive, Morgan.
How fun.
That's Blake and Bailey. They're our Bronco experts.
Goat modes. Goes over any type of terrain.
And of course, Ford F-Series. Best-selling trucks for 47 years. The Get Holiday Ready sales event.
Chills.
Get 1.9% APR for 60 months plus no payments for up to 90 days and $1,000 bonus cash on a new F-150.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
When it's Husker volleyball time and our hunger spikes, we say, go big with Dorothy Lynch. Dorothy serves up aces with every salad, marinade, and side dish. Dive in, dig up some Dorothy, and kill those cravings with the sweet, tangy spiciness of Dorothy Lynch. It's a perfect match every time.
If you've been looking for a reason to fill up your car with unleaded 88, how about this? Unleaded 88
can help you save big at the pump.